Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
We are Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Got a couple of great side-by-sides here in the studio. We got a Polaris and we've got a Can-Am, and you know, these things cost $30,000, $50,000 sometimes, and they're rugged, they're great on the trail, but there's a weak link, Jason. What is the Achilles heel of vehicles like this?
Well, just haul them on an open trailer, you know, the windshield.
The windshield is a big problem. How much can a windshield cost for one of these vehicles?
I've seen them as high as $1,500.
Good Lord.
Yes, sir.
That's huge. And a lot of the big problems, like you said, occur while you're on the trailer. You're going 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway.
Yes, sir.
And this thing's exposed to the elements there. You're moving way faster than you are on the trail.
Correct.
And you discovered this because you go hunting a lot. You like to haul for a long way to get there.
Yes, sir. We go on anywhere from 8 to 9 hour trips down south every year, you know, and that was my biggest fear, you know, having to replace one of these high-dollar windshields. So I come up with a cover that had a 1/2 inch thick padding in it, and it's well secured to the unit. I mean, the only way it's coming off is if that bike leaves the trailer, and as long as you strap it down good, there ain't neither one of them coming off.
And you've patented this design. This is 4D shields. How many different makes and models do you cover?
We're about 90, right at 98% of all Polaris. Can-Am side, the Defender, that's been our biggest seller. I mean, we're working on the X3. And, you know, I'm getting inquiries every day. And if you don't see our model on our actual webpage, just let me know what you have. If I have a dealer close by, I'll make it happen.
Well, let's talk about how they're actually made. First of all, made of all U.S. materials.
Yes, sir.
And made right there in Texas, which is great.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the materials you use when you build the 4D shields.
This here, the skin, you know, inside and out, is Sunbrella. Same material used for like awnings. It's waterproof. It's held up great to weather as far as fading or anything else. Our straps are 2-inch webbing and military-grade clips that clip back to one another on the inside cab of the units. I've not had any stitching issues or any kind of fading. We have pressure washed the death out of these things, and you can see, you know, cows on them. I mean, they hold up great.
And I'm impressed too by the foam, because it's not just some foam you threw in there. That foam is actually mold resistant and waterproof as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So you've got a double layer of protection there.
That's correct.
Let's talk about the foam. You guys have a great video. You're throwing a couple of rocks at this thing to see how it stands up to that as
yes,
you're
sir.
on the road. What are the results here when you throw a rock against the pad here?
Well, I threw one the size of a golf ball. Of course, I like to hate it because it bounced back at me.
Came right back at you.
Here's the deal. I mean, if it's deflecting, you know, debris like that, then that's what it's doing out there on the road when you get it on the trailer. You know, of course, we pulled the cover off. No issues of anything as far as a crack on the glass itself, which was my main concern. You know, I wanted to prove that.
I know that putting these things on the trailer, it can be a big sort of routine and everything. So you don't want to add to that. You don't want to add a lot of extra time to your routine and hauling the thing out. You want to get out and have fun.
Yes, sir.
So how'd you make installation easy? How do you put this thing on?
Well, a lot of times what I'll do, I'll flip the glass up. I'll slip the cover on there, strap it up. You can raise that glass with cover back up. Pull it up on your trailer, secure it, just make sure all 100% of your glass is covered, strap her down, and head on.
Easy as that. And you want to wash the windshield probably first. You want to clean it to make sure you don't get rocks and things stuck in there.
I'm in the habit of doing that. You know, you don't want a lot of dirt and grime, sand, different things in between that cover and the glass itself, because there is a potential of it maybe scratching it.
And that would be important if this thing is moving around, but how much wind deflection do you get when this thing goes down the road?
You don't. As you're going down the road, we have several videos too, you know, of going down the road, the wind pressure against that thing. There's no wind lift from down low. I mean, the pocket that we have on there, I mean, you can pull on as hard as you want to. You're not going to pull it out. It stays secured to that.
Of course, some models of side-by-sides have a fixed windshield. This one happens to have a flip-up windshield. And you know, when you get to your site, you want to start riding right away. You don't want to mess around. So all you got to do is take the covers off, undo the clips, and this thing will be ready to go. These are super easy to unclip. And because of the pocket, you can just slide it off down here at the bottom. And you are good to go there, Jason. Now, I know folks love the cover, but they also love the customer service. I've looked online to see all the reviews from people that really love the way you treat them. Why is that so important to you?
I mean, a lot of times when I call them up, instead of email them, they'll have more questions to ask about it. Of course, I'm right there in person, you know, on the phone talking to them, and I'm all about that. I mean, every one of them we've sold, I have talked to 99% of them, and just getting to know the customer. I don't know, it means something to me. I mean, and for one, just designing something that not only, you know, benefits me, but everyone else out there, and protect them from having to spend $1,500 on another windshield, it's a no-brainer for me, man.
You can protect your investment. You can get the customer service you need from a family business. You're going to love that too. 4dshields.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so don't go anywhere. Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. DragonFireTools.com, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Now, if you are a car builder or if you've had a car restored for any length of time, you know communication is key. Now, Mike, you're here from Ion Classic to tell us that Ion Classic is the best way to document restorations. Why is it so important to have that documentation?
Documentation is key when you're doing a build or a restoration. So if you're helping a customer build his dream car, like this 33 Ford we've got here behind us, or you're just doing a repaint job or something, right? Understanding what happens at that time during that process is key. And keeping customers engaged with you as you're doing these builds and these restorations is absolutely a fabulous way to kind of make sure they understand the value of all your workmanship and craftsmanship that's being poured into these vehicles. And as you know, the cost of these vehicles these days and the cost of doing these restorations is astronomical, and making sure that it's documented well, and that documentation for Ion Classic, the way we do it is we not only help you collect all this restoration documentation, whether it's one of your shop technicians, a dozen of your shop technicians, or even people that are working on cars outside of your shop. So if you're using an upholstery shop, shall we say. All of those folks are all coordinated through the Ion Classic platform. And we put all of this material together, all this content, and whether you're doing receipts and pictures of the actual parts of the build, paint jobs, everything that you're doing. And we keep it in one place, secure and backed up in the cloud. And we coordinate all that so that the owner can follow along in real time. And I think that's really some of the key things. There's many other elements we can talk about, but the fact that we take all the pictures, all the material, we store it, we coordinate it, and then we allow them to follow along in real time. And as somebody who's been in the car business a long time, you know that if they can understand what's happening every day of their build, they're a lot happier customer.
And I've been in a lot of build shops, and from their end, they're taking a million photos, trying to keep it organized, and then maybe it goes off to paint. Well, you tell the painter, can you paint it over there, or the upholstery guy, and now you've got to figure out how to assemble all of that. You've streamlined the process, to say the least.
You're absolutely right, and I think what we found when we were talking to a lot of the shops when they're looking at this platform is that we didn't realize how much of a problem it was for them to take, store, and coordinate all these pictures from all these different sources. And customers, when they leave with their vehicles, they want all that information. They want to be able to hold it and be able to have it. And it used to be days gone by, it was a bill book. So now it's all online. And when we coordinate all that, whether it's your technicians or the technicians in something like an upholstery shop, they're all coordinated for you. And with one simple email address, and I think this is really important, for this 33 Ford, we've taken some pictures, put them online. You can see them there on the last app right there.
Yeah.
And if you click them, it'll actually show you the pictures as you scroll through them. With one simple email, we can take all of that data that's stored from that particular car as it went through the process and transfer it to the owner. Follows the owner from owner to owner to owner. And we started this as an amateur restoration person who's built cars and then sold them at auction. I thought, what an advantage it would be for that next owner to have everything that I've done fully documented, which I did. It was thousands of pictures at their fingertips. And what's interesting is for them to have their friend follow along. And in the car business and in the car hobby, we all know folks that are car folks, and they want to be able to follow along and see the progress of your car.
And I see the QR codes too, when he takes his car to a show.
Yeah.
How do they use that?
This is an exciting feature we just added last year. So the app is fully integrated now with QR codes. And some people like to make them little placards, so you can basically have a placard in the windshield. Some like to use a sticker. And for shops, some of them like to have build sheets that follow the car along through the shop so the technicians can find them. But what we've done is we've connected these QR codes to the builder. So now if I'm building a car and after a year, 2 years, 3 years of a restoration, and it goes out to a car show, and somebody goes, wow, I'd always dreamed of having a 33 Ford Roadster. And they hit that QR code, it brings up the app, and you'll see the full information on the actual car, so you can actually see the details of the vehicle. So you can see the owner, and you also see the shop that built it. And we think that's probably one of the biggest values is there's some amazing craftsmanship that comes out of so many of these restoration shops and builders when they're doing custom cars from scratch. How do you connect the work after it leaves the shop? And that's how we do it. We do it through these QR codes so that people in these car events and parades and car shows, they could instantly find out everything they could through the old-fashioned playbook, have it on their phone, but also get instantly connected to the shop that built it.
It's the perfect way to document your vehicle, tell your vehicle story from start to finish, whether you're the builder or the owner. This is a must-have. You can find it at ionclassic.com. And you can find more of Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com when we come back. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. A little bit of change for this tech tip. Let's play a game. Name this sound. Starting with number 1. Number 2. Yeah, you guessed it. That was too easy. Number 1, turbocharger blow-off valve. Number 2, well, that was that big, massive supercharger under the hood where you get that supercharger surge. Everybody loves that. That's right, we're talking forced induction. Let's start with the actual turbocharger, and you can see it right here. You got the actual turbine on the exhaust side. The intake side has the compressor. We're taking that air, we're pressurizing it and shoving it into the engine. I got one right here for you. You can see this side. This is actually the turbine on the exhaust side. It's connected over to the intake side, and that's spinning the compressor wheel over here, which is compressing the air. Now the key is in the middle here. You see this oil shaft across the middle? That thing's got to be lubricated, and this thing can be spinning up to 300,000 RPM. Imagine that and how hot it's getting from that exhaust. You can see it right here. The actual shaft and all the oil holes. Now supercharger on the other hand, well, that started way back in the mines there with the Root brothers. Had a big supercharger sitting out there blowing air into the mines. Went through to the big one up under your hood, got one on the table here, and then our truck back here has the underhood one. So you can take a look at all of them. Supercharger on the other hand, it's belt driven. Takes a little horsepower to do it, but you're still gaining horsepower, so that's pretty good. Maybe 100 horsepower and 25 to drive it, so your net horsepower is going to be about 75 horsepower. It's belt driven. That one was exhaust driven. What's happening here, if I pull this out, you can actually see these veins right here, and that belt's driving it. And what people don't realize is it's actually driving the air from here outside in, forced induction into the engine. Well, with that comes some of the problems here, inherent problems like coking. You got right there, and then you got blow-by because there's a lot of extra pressure on that engine, Len, especially our truck here. We're supercharged as well.
Oh yeah, you're dealing with some major issues there from a heat standpoint and a pressure standpoint. So you have to make sure that you're building the product to withstand it so we don't get parts touching and create wear.
At 300,000 RPM now, I know people like to run them and stuff like that, but the heat from the exhaust alone, think about that on that bearing. I mean, what are we doing to those bearings?
Well, it's tough on the bearings, but remember, those bearings require lubrication to stay alive. And when the engine is running and up to temperature, that's fairly easy. You can formulate to do that at normal operating temperature. The problem is when you shut it off, the oil stops moving. So all the heat that's left in that exhaust or in that turbo goes right in the oil. And what it can do is oxidize the oil, and it can coke, and it sticks.
I got an idea. Grab that oil. Let's take this for a test drive and abuse it a little bit.
I think it's a good idea.
Technology along with forced induction is great, but it's putting extra demand on the oils and all the other fluids in your vehicle. So here's the deal. Make sure you're using a quality product like AMSOIL. Check out their whole line of quality products at amsoil.com.
I'm Bob Webster.
I'm Murray Webster.
This is our 77 442. We bought this car brand new December 24th, 1976, and we've had it ever since.
Of course, he's always loved muscle type cars, so this is just down his road. It always has been.
Her mother told me I did not need the car, and we bought it. We drove it from 1977 till 2001. I've always liked 442s. There's nobody that I know of in this area that has this model of a car, and I've had this built to drive. The engine is a LS1, come out of a 2002 Camaro 5.7, put a small camshaft in it. They tuned it, and it's 400 horse at the crank and 350 at the rear wheels. It's got a posi track in it. Usually rubber seals the first thing to go. Steel rubber makes it good, and I like to have a catalog from steel rubber so I could replace some if I needed to as the years go by.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by ACT, Advanced Clutch, powered by Action. Clamp Tight, clamp anything, any size, any shape, anywhere. And by Trailer Alarms, security in an instant.
It's time for the PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week, and this time it's a bunch of friends of the show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's the folks at Unique Customs, and they restore vintage cars from mild to wild. And let me tell you, their shop looks like a museum with some of the coolest cars and trucks you can imagine. But they don't just do restorations, they also build resto mods under the name Brand New Muscle Car. Now imagine having an authentic looking 1960s Bronco, Camaro, or Mustang, but with all new parts and all new engine and suspension technology. Iconic looks, but a car that handles better and makes more power? Sign me up. Nobody does it like Brand New Muscle Car, and that's why they are the PaintedAutoParts.com Motorheads of the Week. And that's also why we here at Masters Entertainment Group decided to make an entire TV series out of it. I'll let these guys tell you about it.
Our builds are all new, so we use a Ford licensed all new body shell. It's not a kit car. It is a 67 Ford Mustang. You can register it, you can title it. It's a real deal, but it's new, all new metal, no rust, no metal fatigue. It's not 50 years old. It's corrosion protected. We seam seal it, we sound deaden it. We build it as much like a new car as we can.
David came to us with a crazy idea one time to build a Mustang. Hey, let's build a Mustang. And everybody else thought he was nuts, except for us. And we still think he's pretty much nuts. But somehow or another it turned into a business. And this is way better than doing collision work, what we used to do.
Now, on suspension, we're going to have to go aftermarket, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No factory stuff.
Right, definitely aftermarket stuff on the front, 4-link in the rear, ubiquitous 9-inch.
Yep.
Wheelwoods, wheelwood brakes.
Whenever you put modern suspension on them, you put the wheels and tires on them, the new motor in them. It's like all the modern stuff in an old car, and you don't even know it's there.
Really important?
Yep.
I need a drink of water. Can I have your water?
The TCP stuff, I think that's a default for a car like this. And it just goes on so easy. You don't have to cut, weld, bend, hit it with a hammer.
So,
oil pan clearance, header clearance, all that stuff.
Who's going to be the customer?
The customer on this build is a local guy. His name's JB Jarbo. Great guy. We love working with him. He's actually got 2 restorations here right now. So that's how we knew him when this show came up and this build came up. He was the first guy I thought of. Pitched the idea to him. He loved it. He likes Mustangs. He wants a resto mod. Now the rest is going to be the show.
This Mustang is something that we've kind of been talking with him about for months, and he got fired up about it. And so that fired us up even more to build it for him because he is such a great car guy. And on top of that, he's just an amazing customer.
Like I said, everybody loves the Mustang, and I thought it would be really cool to build up kind of a resto mod, put some spin on it that you wouldn't get with a normal Survivor original restoration. A little more motor, a little bit better suspension, have some of those creature comforts, air conditioning and whatnot. It just seemed like it would be a really, really fun car to have in a resto mod, and it's just a piece of America that I just think is really cool, and no other country can claim to have that kind of history that we've got with cars.
Seeing a customer excited about the car that they just picked up after I've had it, it's one of the most gratifying things there is. There's nothing better than seeing the excitement on their face, the pure joy when they get in the car and drive off. There's nothing else that compares to that.
The feeling that I get is one of, just joy. It's just happy to see the customer happy, to see the end result, and how they react to it.
I enjoy working here mostly because I get to help people. I get to help the customers make their cars look a lot better than they were before.
Some of our customers, or customers in general, when they have dreamed about something most of their life and now they're finally to that point where they can afford to do it, you got to see their faces when they're in here. When they come in and they're excited that, oh, we've done this or we've moved forward on the car, where they're actually starting to see what was in their head all these years, it's coming to fruition and it's right before their eyes. And that is a satisfying feeling to see that they are pleased with the work.
Your assignment this week, binge watch episodes of Brand New Muscle Car at Discovery Go and a whole bunch of other streaming outlets. That's also where you can find Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, all of our previous episodes. We're going to have a brand new episode of Motorhead Garage next week, so we'll see you in 7 days. So long.